Let's see if this actually works. I'm going to check out if this actually works. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So I'll have to check it out first. Hold on. Let's see what if this is connecting properly. And oh, it looks like we have blast off. Looks like we have blast off. Hold on. So let's get some sound up in the air. Sound going. Yay. This is just like going to the Kennedy Space Center. Yeah. This is where you have that's where all the action is. Okay, here we go. I see you guys are already here. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Hi. Who walks me home? I sprayed his face with mace and then he left me all alone. Good evening and welcome. I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of day. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. A lot of my relationships, they end up in the ditch, so I'm getting counseling for being another drug. The doctor's pills he gave me, they make me trip and fall. So if you are the man you say you are, you let me close it all. Today, I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. So this is where we are, folks. Grab your partner by the hand. To this walk, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of a love buzz, isn't it? Hey, Jenny, welcome. Hi, Jenny. Greetings, Jenny. Now, who's that girl? Hey, we have a new healer tonight. I think her name is Reiki Healer somebody. I can't remember. Hold on. We have a healer in the room. Where are you? Where did you go? I can't find you. Huh. It's too complicated. Sorry. Oops. Okay, there we are. It's no guarantee that I will be accepted. Tonight, I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. Gonna go out tonight. Gonna take my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. Manuela, good evening. Hi, Liz. Hi, in Rainbows. Is this free? Yes, this is free tonight. This is Sunday night's always free, unless you want to put something in the super chat. Money words. Okay, hold on. Let me just roll this again. I'm still just trying to get everything set up here. Hold on. So we'll just let it go. Hold on. Stay there. Hi, Liz. Hi, Robin. Hi, Precious. Hi, Precious. Precious, you gotta write. I asked you to please write in. We need to talk. Okay, Precious? You know who you are. Exactly, Jenny. Super chat. I hear you. $5 gets you a reading. Hold on, I want to start the song again so you can see all the words. I want you guys to see all the words. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can. I'm going to do it like this.
goes wrong. My hair fell out, my heel broke off. I slept through my alarm. I missed the bus your night to school. My stalker walked me home. I sprayed his face with mace and then he left me all alone. I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. A lot of my relationships, they end up in the ditch. So I'm getting counseling to be another drug bitch. The doctor's pills he gave me, they make me trip and fall. So if you are the man you say you are, you let me close it all.
Everybody dance now.
Tonight, I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you.
Okay.
Fashions and pedicures, the permanent solutions, heads to backs, the fancy racks, are empty substitutions. What I really need is a man who throws me on my shoulder, takes me naked in the ocean,
Sing along now. Sing along.
I'm gonna dance my stress away.
Sing along.
You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you.
I don't have any Depeche Mode. Okay, this is where we all groove out. Okay.
Getting tattoos on my ass and up and down my arms could get me into trouble, leaving me rejected. Then again, pretending I'm secure and acting all tender is no guarantee that I will be accepted.
Sing along now.
I'm gonna dance my stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you. We're gonna dance the stress away until the break of daylight. You may not wanna dance with me, but I wanna dance with you.
Okay. Okay, let's calm down. Just calm down, everybody. Let's calm down. So I'm hoping it's going to be a kind of a quiet evening. And I don't know about any of you guys, but I am absolutely wiped out. Completely pulverized. And, you know, I know a lot of you in the United States are living in cold climates right now. I'm in a warm place, but I'm still wiped out. I've got a cold. I'm just going to confess. I'm just going to tell you tonight I have a cold and I'm taking cold medications. I like to stay as healthy as I can, just like you guys. Health and healing is very, very important part of this channel. It's very important part of the life of Terra Lumination. Health and healing is the dominant theme in the life of Terra Lumination. So I'm just trying to pass it on to you guys because I am only alive as a result of successive, unending stream of miracles. Otherwise, I would have been gone long ago. The only reason I'm alive today is because of literally miracles falling straight out of the sky, and I'm living proof that it happens. Anyway, that's another story. Good evening and welcome to Terra Illumination's Love Tribe tonight live, Sunday Night Live. Okay, so that's my box of tissues because sometimes things get pretty emotional here. Who did that? Who did that? I saw that. Somebody's dropping a hint. Somebody's dropping a hint. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's going to be a very limited show tonight. I'm already giving you a heads up. So don't get too excited or too worked up. But if anybody wants to secure, let's call the word secure, a little mini reading tonight. $5 a work, you know, it's nice. It's a nice gesture. You do the super chat, and Jenny's a moderator, and she can guide you how to do the super chats if you've never done it before. It's somewhere on your screen on your window. Now, it's very hard for me to keep a track of all the names and everything that's coming in, and I've kind of given up because it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and we miss out on a lot of the fun of the show. So guess what? We got support, we got help here, and it's working very, very well. We can say everybody thank you to Jenny. Jenny D is here tonight moderating the show for all of us. She's basically trying to keep all the hecklers and all the tomato throwers and all the booers and the people who are spitting and up there and throwing peanuts, to try and keep them calm at bay and shove them over to the security section. If we have to, we have heavy duty security here, and we will use it if we have to. Okay, so just letting you guys know. Who is that? Somebody? Whoa, who is that? I've got to keep a track. I don't know who's what. Now that we're doing it, thank you. Who put that in? Who put the? I just saw a 5. There's a little dog. It looks like a little Yorkshire Terrier. Who is that? Hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Who just put the oh, MC. Okay, so I'll do that. MC. Thank you, MC. So you just bought yourself. You know what? Money talks, people. Money talks. MC, you're gonna get a little mini reading. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jenny, for keeping tops on that. Huh. Okay, it's you. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, old son. You can throw as many tomatoes as you want at your laptop, but it's your laptop or your computer. I mean, sure, if you want to take it out on the computer, it's not going to work over here. We have invisible electric fencing all around the Terra Lumination compound, so only the special people who've cleared security can get through. I know you've done it, yeah. Please add Jasmine to the list. Okay, people are wanting to get added to a list. The old list. I remember that. Now, I don't know who's actually going to get a reading or not. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look here. Okay, for sure, we've got MC's going to get one. That's for sure. Where did I get the diamond Post-its? They found me. I found them on the street. Like where I live, people just leave stuff on the street. And so I just picked it up. They looked cool. I like them. Happy-go-lucky made it through security. Well done. Well done. Wow, how did you do that? How did you do that? We have very, very tight security here at Terra Lumination, especially on Sunday Night Live, where there are all sorts of, you know, reasons why people let their hair down and do crazy stuff. It's okay. Expediter Dean. Hey, Expediter Dean. Actually, Expediter, thank you for coming to the show. I don't think I've ever seen you here before, but you've been very kind and helpful. Actually, I'm not feeling better. Well, actually, I am feeling better since a few days ago, but I still have a cold. I'm trying to keep it. I'm medicated right now to try and deal with it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Expediter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Nadia Buddha. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, look, Lena's already planning the after party. We haven't even started this party yet, and the after party's already getting planned. You're crazy. You have? Expediter. Okay, well, maybe I just didn't click. The truth is, Expediter, that a lot of stuff goes by on the screen very fast, and I don't see it, because mostly I'm just paying attention to the show right here, okay? Oh, well, that's maybe I called you military grade because you are military grade. That's heavy duty. I hope you take that as a compliment. I use that phrase specifically. Okay, so some people are basically piggybacking on the back end of people who already have clearance. Precious Moments got in by hanging onto Spider-Man's coattails. Well, that's okay. That's cool. You know, I applaud you in your bravery and your courage. So, Rodarius, hi. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So we got a few folks in the house tonight. It's going to be a short, simple, fun show. So we'll see what happens. Now, we already owe a reading to MC, and I'm only going to be able to do a few readings tonight. I wanted to just say a couple things. Hold on. Because I'm trying to learn how to run the show better for you guys and keep an eye on things so I don't get lost and, marginally distracted. So I was making some notes earlier because a lot of things have happened behind the scenes where I'm learning an awful lot about the channel and things that I don't know that I'm learning as we go along. The channel has been going along for now maybe 10 months now. And yes, happy-go-lucky. I'm thinking of doing one for the whole room. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Campfire reading. We'll do everything, one for the whole campfire. That's just for tonight, for all of us. We'll do that, all right? We'll do that for sure. Okay, for campfire, we're going to get a full-on campfire reading. Maybe we'll do that one first. Or maybe we'll save it for last. Let's see. We'll just put that over here. Okay, so everybody get that out of your system, all about the Super Bowl. Well done. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Congratulations, Jenny. I have no idea, concept, or understanding of football, but I know it's a very, very, very big deal for the United States. And it's a very, very big deal for the city that wins. So well done, Jenny. Congratulations. And in case you didn't figure it out, Jenny is our moderator this evening. And Jenny can do whatever she wants. If she feels like she wants to boot you out, she can boot you out. So you better be very careful, okay? And so there you go. Oh, you don't care about your football, just your city. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know much about football. I'm sorry. Couple of things. I just wanted to do some some of the things that I like to do here, because I'm basically taking advantage of your guys' attention to get a few things going here. These are just my scribbles before the show. These are my very quick notes, things I wanted to bring to your attention, also for the attention of Terra Lumination. Number one, first of all, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you guys for hanging in. We've been going for 10 months now here at Terra Lumination, and it's a big deal. I've learned a tremendous amount, and I'm hoping to learn a lot more. I feel like we're just starting, and want to make the most of it so that you guys get the best value out of it. So first I wanted to say thank yous for everybody who entered in the big scarf raffle. It went on for months because frankly, not a lot of people were interested. And it kind of broke my heart. I thought people would jump on it very, very quickly and we'd sell out all the tickets within a couple of weeks. But it ended up taking almost 3 months. I was kind of shocked. So anyway, it's over now. And the winner was Monique. Okay? Monique was the winner. So she has already been notified, and the scarf is already shipped in the mail. This is the scarf. I'm just going to show you, everyone, because I have to promote this thing, okay? Okay, there you go. This is the scarf that was just went up for raffle, and I have a few more. They're expensive, and they're handmade, and you can buy them for cash if you want to. You just go to terralumination.com, and you can figure it out. But because it's a raffle, you can get tickets. It was tickets were $3, $4 with the service charge, and so Monique covered herself and she bought 7 tickets. Yes, I know what you're saying, Patricia. It needs more promotion, but honestly, Terra Illumination only has limited time, energy, and resources to run this channel, and 90% of the energy goes to doing the readings and the reports and the private client readings, and then a lot of work behind the scenes to keep the channel going. And there's not much time or energy left to do the promotions. I know I should do more, but I just don't have the energy. I have very limited resources in that way. Let's put it that way. So, Monique, I don't know if Monique is here tonight, but thank you, Monique, for all the support. And Monique also gets a full private reading. Okay. So she's got the scarf and she's getting a full private reading. And I'm very happy about all that. The next thing, I'm going to take advantage of the evening here to promote this. I just started another raffle. Okay. It's private reading raffle. Okay. So the raffle is very much like the last one, and it just started. Okay. So somewhere on the channel, I know that like all the monthly reports, all the general reports, and the love and relationship reports, they all now have a special button. So when you look at the screen, if you look at the screen, there's a button right up here at the top. I don't think it works on smartphones. I think you have to be on a computer or a laptop for this thing to work. And this is how you get to the raffle. Like if you're watching one of the Terra Illumination videos and it goes and you see that little thing at the top, then you click that and it opens up the ticket place where you just go in and get your ticket. And so that just started. So if people want to, uh, it's an entry, it's a raffle to win a full complex live reading. And they sell for $77, but you're going to get it for $3, okay? If you win. See, it's kind of cool. And so it just started, so there's plenty of time and there's plenty of tickets left if anybody wants to have a chance at winning a private reading. Just go to it. The easiest thing is just to go to the Terra Illumination channel and click on one of the latest videos for their love and relationship or the general reports for February, and you will find a little button. It's a little button up here. It's a white button. You just press that, okay? So there you go. I hope this works. The next thing I wanted to, oh, hold on. Yeah, it was all kind of fun. So the super chat is still open, people. If anybody wants to buy a little reading, $5, we'll get one here done tonight. If you can figure out how to do the super chat, I still don't know how to do it because I'm on this side, but I know there's a button, you know, like where you're typing, go clickety click, there's a button that looks like a dollar sign, and that's supposed to open up a window where you can put money in. So there you go. Oh, Jenny, yes, the I button. Yes. Jenny's talking about the I button for the raffles. You go to the I button, click it, and it opens up the raffle and you can get your tickets. So there you go. No, the I button is not visible on the show tonight. Sorry. I'll make that clear. Sorry, that button, the I button is on the videos that are already recorded, already on the channel. And there is a video about the private reading. I might put that on the front of the channel so people can see it. And then you can have a better chance. Then you can have a better chance. Hold on, let me do it like this. To get the raffle, to enter the raffle, private reading raffle. Hold on. Okay, this is a full-blown, complex, very in-depth reading for you. You can get a private reading raffle. The easiest thing to do is go to the channel, you know, when this show is over, or tomorrow or whenever, go to the channel and open any February reports. So that's the first step. The second step is you look at this when you're looking at the report and there's all the cards and Terra Lumination is going blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. There's a little button right up here. It's a little button. It's right up here. And you click that button and it takes you to the ticket. This is the ticket button. Now, it's not working here on the show tonight. You have to go to the channel tomorrow or whenever if you want to watch one of the videos. And you click that button. So over here, it would look like there's a bunch of cards, you know? So those are the cards on the video. And the button is up here. So you press that and you enter it. And it takes you to the raffle. So when you do the raffle, you go to the ticket place, and the tickets are $3 for a ticket, and it comes out to be $4 roughly with the ticket service charge. Okay, so it's just like the scarf raffle that we did. It's super cheap, and I have to sell about, I think, whatever it is, 30 tickets, something like that, 20, 30 tickets, and it's the same thing we did on the other night. We are once all the tickets are sold, just like we did the other night, we had a little show for the live drawing. All the tickets get sold, and I check in with the ticketing company, and they show me the list of everybody, and I contact them. We put all the names in here, just like this. We put your name in here on a little post-it note, just like this, and we throw it in the pot with, you know, a lot of other tickets, and then we shake it around, and when the time comes, we pull out the winner. And if that's got your name, you know, that's it. It's just a very simple, very old-fashioned raffle. That's all it is. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Delia. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Happy-Go-Lucky. Good evening and welcome. Yeah. So there we go. We were just talking about getting organized with the raffles. So that's that thing done. Next, I wanted to mention this. Delia, the smell memory. Yeah, for sure. I'm not a magic marker sniffer. Maybe you are, but I'm not. I don't like the headaches that comes with it. So when we were chatting the other day, Jenny was doing a lot of homework behind the scenes, and we discovered that people would actually be interested in live webinars where we could talk about really specific subjects, you know, without having to worry about the community guidelines on YouTube. Because with the tarot channel, with Terra Lumination, and with the live readings, I have to be very, very careful about the community guidelines. But if we do things properly, hi, Catherine, hi, Liz. If we do things properly, we can hold specific events and private events, and we can talk about things like twin flames, or how to recover from abuse, or how to make the best use of the planets, how to align yourself with the eclipses. You know, fun, interesting topics that help people have richer, happier lives. So we're going to start working on this, figure out how to do it, and then we're going to do it, okay? And it'll be a paid webinar, something like, you know, $5 or $10 or something, whatever it is. and it'll be just like we're doing now, but it's all private. Okay, it's all private, private, private. You'll all have a chance to speak and talk and listen and be heard. So it's kind of cool. So that was what was that? Let's have a look. I think I got the things covered that I want. Just to let you know, Terra Illumination is not going away. It's just been very, very, very busy here lately, and I got kind of burnt out, exhausted. I overdid it, and I think I'm suffering a little bit. Had a cold, and things like that. And I'm trying to take it down a little easier, get some rest, and then get back into it. And we're going to go back, and we're going to have future raffles. What I'm thinking of doing is doing a private reading raffle every month, every single month. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to work. Last time when we did the raffle, it sold out in about 3 days. Okay, so that was very fast. So I don't expect it to go that fast all the time. So I'm thinking at least a month. We could run the raffle for about a month. It means having to sell about 25 or 30 tickets. And when we do that, somebody wins. And it's a super, super cheap way. It's like, cheap way to have a chance of getting a reading. And if you didn't win, at least you have a happy conscience because you got a chance for someone else to get their reading. All right, so there you go. All right, so we got a couple of readings up for tonight already. We got MC. MC put $5 into the super chat to book a reading tonight. So you're going to get a little private reading. We're also going to do a group reading for all of us. And that's all we got lined up right now. Well, I might be able to do some random readings. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Let me get some cards out here, people. Frittily. Hey, Frittili's in the house. Frittili's another reader. And I wonder how many healers are in the house tonight. I'm going to start shuffling. That's interesting, Indigo Child. Why didn't it give you a notification? I didn't even know you got notifications. I don't know how the communications work, frankly. I really don't know. Okay, so let's do a little fun reading for the whole group tonight, just for fun. Okay, since we're all here. Yeah. Yeah, I love doing the readings. I like doing this. So let's do a fun group reading. All right, first of all, beverages. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to do, how am I going to do this? You know what? Let's go big. Well done, 11 Fawn 11. Welcome, yo. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, happy-go-lucky. I know people who have amazing collections of tarot decks, but they never use them because they just think of them as works of art, like a little collection of paintings. And that's what I feel, Oh, 60 decks. Oh my gosh. That's insane. All right, I'm going to spread this out a little bit here. Let's do it like this. Hold on, I want to get things a little more organized. I just want to do it kind of like this. I hope you don't mind. No, we're not going to have room like that. I'm going to take this away just for the moment. Put it down here. Indigo, you have 10 oracles and 7 decks. Wow. Yeah, I've worked with a lot of different decks, but I just love this. I love the old, you know, it's so old, but I like it. It's good, it's steady. Liz, this is for everybody. We're going to do the whole, that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's just get back to basics here, okay? Let's just do it like so. All right, let's have a look. What's going on, people? Okay, look, it's very clear that some of you guys are tarot junkies. There's no question about it. I can't help you. I don't think there's any cure. I don't think it's anything that you can ever be cured from. It's with you for life. So, you know, God help you. All right? All right, we're going to do a group reading here. This is for the whole house. This is for all of us. Think of it as a private group reading, and you guys can reinterpret however you want to suit yourselves. Now, you know here that the core energies behind Tarot Illumination are all about love, the healing power of love, and the healing power of love in action. And with healing, we are also referring to health. I'm not just talking about, you know, root canals and, you know, ingrown toenails and, you know, wear and tear and aging. I'm talking about some of the most difficult things to heal in the human being are the things that are buried in our heart and soul, because a lot of those issues are the issues that trigger the external manifestations of dis-ease and lack of health. And with Tarot Illumination, I really like to go to the source of the problem. You know, if you've got cancer, you can go to a cancer doctor and they can do what they can. But the reality is, there's ways that you can almost stop or at least avert or impede some of the diseases by doing a lot of the deep soul healing from the inside out, instead of having to wait until everything falls apart in your physical life and then realize, oh my gosh, I should have got a Tarot Illumination reading. There you go. Yeah, it's like almost one of the worst things you can do is bury your emotions, burying your feelings. A lot of people don't like what they feel, and so they eat themselves to happiness, or they drink themselves to happiness, or they smoke themselves to happiness, or they, you know, chew nicotine gum to happiness. Or and if they're really miserable, they take out all their misery on somebody else, you know, however that works. All right, so the cards are now shuffled, and we're going to do the group thing. I'm going to use the same spread that we use on the general reports. So just think of it as a very broad spectrum. I'll give you the Tarot Illumination spin on it, and then you can reinterpret however you want, okay? That's all right, Marilyn, don't worry. I have a very sore, tender throat tonight, but I'm still going to talk, but I'm going to be very gentle, all right? So the cards are cut, and we're ready to go. So forgive me if I kind of go into a bit of a weird trance, but that's how we do it here. All right, please understand that we are all blessed, we are guided, we are protected. We all have angels watching over us, staying very close by. Angels are very, very much like humans in that they have feelings. and they are very respectful and very, very loving. And their main concern is your happiness, your love, your health, and your welfare. And they are ready to support you and help you in any way they can at your invitation. They're very, very sensitive about the energy of invitation, by invitation only. So, because that's a very clear indication that you, the person, are very aware that you have a relationship with your angels. Now, if you want to fix and solve all your problems directly without help from the great beyond, you can do that. It's fine. But why not make the best of what's out there for you anyway? So they absolutely love it when you invoke your angels um, into your life, bringing the healing power of love into your life, the energy of heaven. I see it as the energy of heaven. And we all need as much as we can get, okay? And those of us who have a surplus, we like to share, okay? One of my biggest problems in life is to share it all. And the real problem is not that I don't have the abundance or the flow, it's whether anyone else is out there ready, willing, and able to receive, okay? That sounds kind of upside down, but that's actually how it works behind the scenes here at Terra Illumination. All right, I think we just cut. Honestly, I can't remember. Yes, we did. We did cut, so I'm going to go for it. Now, you guys can hang out amongst yourselves, chat with each other, pretend you're at the Terra Illumination campfire, and, you know, do what you guys do. Or if you want to focus in on the reading, you can do that too. I'm going to just get stuck in here. All right. So here we go. This is at the very core heart of things right now. This would be our collective beating heart. It needs what it needs. It wants what it wants. And it's always asking, what's next? What's next? What's next for me? The heart is always bringing in all the rich nutrients that our lives require. And it's pumping out all the waste that our lives produce. And it's a never ending pump. It never, ever, ever stops. So it's very, very important to love yourself very, very deeply and feed the heart what it needs and wants, okay? And this is legacy energy. This is energy that you're bringing in with you that it could be whatever is in your backpack, whatever is in your coat pockets, emotional, psychological, psychic handbag, whatever you want to call it. And this could be anything. This could be a legacy of lifetimes, of past lives that are all piled up in this time now and it wants healing. Or you could be just stressed out from the eclipses. Or you could be deliriously happy from the eclipses. Who knows? This is the energy of the ever present now, what's happening with us here right now. Forget the past, forget the future. Hang in here right now. This is where the power lies, right now. Okay? And it is in the moment, it is in our present where we are highly present, where we can activate the healing power of our decisions here. Because it is through the healing power of our decisions that we can activate and stimulate and nurture our evolution. And like it or not, we live in this concept called time, where we have a sense of past, present, and future. Whereas on the broader spectrum, there really isn't any of that. It's just always now. So in our limited perspectives as, you know, human beings in flesh, we're always facing the unknown, the vast unknown of our future. Like, what if, what if, what if, what if? A lot of tarot readers like to provide like fortune telling, or they like to predict the future. You can do that if you want. I don't really do that here at Tarot Illumination. All I do is provide reflection for you guys so that you guys can make your own decisions, okay? I'm not going to tell you that a knight in shining armor with red hair and an amazing wardrobe is going to come out to you and see you and bring you lots of presents just because we pulled up the Knight of Wands. You know, I don't do tarot in that kind of way. I hope you don't mind. So when you're in the present now, this is where your power lies. This is like the moment that your heart is starting to compress and push out the nutrients, figuring out, risking whatever's going to happen. Over here, the energy of what if. So making decisions. How are you going to make decisions that works for your heart, that makes you as healthy as possible and brings as much love into your life, your physical body, your being, your soul as possible, so that you can literally own as much love in your life as possible, which gives you the chance to share it and radiate that outwards. How do we do that? Over here is the energy of consequence. Like, let's just say, as the heart in our lives, our souls is constantly beating, it has double chambers, it kind of goes like this. And we're always requiring energy and nutrients, and we're always pumping out waste, and it never stops. And we constantly have to be cleansing and purifying and refining our souls and physical beings, just like we have to clean out our refrigerators now and again, or clean up our cupboards, or dust the furniture, whatever it is. It never stops. If you neglect what needs to be cleaned, and then everything piles up, it's like psychic lint. Who needs that? You end up with a very foggy brain, starting to feel that your life's misery is the cause of something else. So over here, this would be the energy of consequence for us, assuming we've done a good job and made the best of our decisions in the circumstances. If not, if we're just outsourcing our lives to out there, then this feels more like fate. And then you can start blaming everything on fate. Over here is the energy of what if. This is the land of risk, the land of reward, based on our pulse moment when we are consciously or unconsciously making our decisions. So what if you mess up? Okay, what if you, hold on, let's do this. What if you mess up? It's okay, we all mess up. What if you mess up and we make a decision that was not very effective or useful or healing? What if we make a good decision? Either way, it's the same energy. One is the inverse of the other. What if, what if, what if? The land of the unknown. And these are the prospects over here, okay? And we're going to look at the background energy in a moment. And this is what's surrounding all of us right now, and we're going to make the best of it, okay? And then we're going to actually jump into the reading itself. All right, here we go. Hold on, give me a second here. This is real life cranberry juice. Hello, Morton Family Tree. Cheers, everybody. I know a lot of readers are out there. They do very, very complicated spreads. They use multiple decks in multiple spreads and oracles simultaneously. And I've given up on that because it takes a huge amount of time and energy for me to reconfigure everything. So it's, right now we're just going to stick with this for now because it's very, very concentrated and very, very distilled. All right, let's have a look. What's the weather like? Look at that. Isn't that funny? We were just talking about this fellow. Okay. So basically, like I was saying, I'm not going to tell you people that whether you're gay or straight, old or young, married or single, female and horny, or male and horny, whatever it is, we're not going to talk about having someone who has an amazing wardrobe come charging into your life all fired up for you. However, if you want to interpret it that way, you can. Okay? So a lot of synchrodipity happens with tarot illumination. And so this does not surprise me, the fact that we were specifically talking about the Knight of Wands. But my feeling is that this energy is very much like the electrified energy that happens that's almost overwhelming for people. Like my feeling, because I have to deal with the same energies as you guys. These eclipses, for my personal world, my life as a human being, were almost overwhelming. And we've still got more to do. We can talk about that in a little bit. Or maybe we'll hold a webinar. And in that energy, it's like it takes so much energy to deal with that. You can be depleted afterwards. And I'm a little bit depleted now. But the energy is still here. We've just come out of that eclipse the other few nights ago. and we're heading towards another new moon eclipse in the middle of February. And this energy is very, very active. It's very, it's Aquarius. It's an Aquarius new moon. So it's going to spark up our lives somewhere, wherever that Aquarius thing lands in your chart, okay? And the energy is building up now. So be careful, because it's like building up an electric charge and then it sparks out. So sometimes that can burn. You can end up burned by having too much energy too quickly. So what I'm feeling here, the suggestion is, let's all take advantage of the energy that we have here, shared collective energy, but let's not burn out, okay? We want to do this for the long term, okay? It's like a healing support group where we're here for each other, to help each other as much as we can. And it's very invigorating. It's very, very healing to have this much energy moving like an electric current between all of us that we can share. Okay. So I see this as good. Let's have a look. What's going on at the heart level? Oh, so our intentions are good, fellow readers, fellow viewers, fellow aficionados. My feeling here with the Knight of Cups is that for all of us, we share a common goal of moving further and further away from the turmoils and battles of our day-to-day grind, and gently, slowly, incrementally, week by week, month by month, bringing the love back in, making love the number one priority. Not out there in the battlefields of life. You can stay there if you want. If you think you're going to build all your happiness and future by working, double time and triple time, and then having the better car and the bigger mortgage and more credit cards and um, all those things, all those wonderful things, or sometimes people get so fired up, like they have such intense work weeks, and they can't relax, so they go off and turn into weekend warriors, and they get all excited, and then they start work uh, with a bang on the next week. But what's happening is they're building up a huge debt, a huge energy debt that is eventually going to be called out. So what I'm feeling here with the Knight of Cups is a very strong indication that we are all systematically, uh, let's say, cleansing and refining and purifying and taking advantage of this energy here, this very powerful, I think of as electrified energy here, to figure out how can we, as a beating heart here, how can we come more from the heart rather than the searching, the wanting, the needing, the grabbing, the getting, the having, and instead pull back a little bit, take your foot off the throttle of life, and let yourself feel the fear that things might not be working. Allow yourself to feel the fear. Allow the energy of fear to move up and in through your body very, very gently. And whatever that fear is, name it, identify it, feel it, and do not let it own you. A lot of people don't like what they feel, so they will eat or drink or smoke or all of that, or they will betray themselves or other people, anything to avoid feeling what they feel. So I think by making deliberate conscious efforts to allow ourselves to love ourselves and nurture ourselves in a more feeling way, and disengage from the battlefields of life and come back and bring the love to home, that's what the heart is asking for now, right now. It wants peace, it wants love, it wants to be loved. The heart wants to love. The heart loves to love, but the heart also needs love. The heart needs to be loved. So be loving and be loved. Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And it's like very early stages here with Tarot Illumination. It feels like we're cradling a little baby, trying to coach a little baby to understand these fundamental laws of nature, instead of saying to your little baby self, hey, you need to learn calculus by the time that you're 5. You're an indigo child baby, and you're destined to be better than Mozart. You're destined to be, an astronaut. But you don't have to be all those things. I'm sorry, indigo child, I didn't mean to uh, I'm not sticking. Sorry about that, but there's that. Uh, there's these category of people, they call them indigo children, who are like space cadets, like super brainiacs and everything. We don't all have to be that way. It's okay just to be very, very loving and very, very loved. Okay, that's what our hearts want, that our heart wants and needs. What are we bringing in with us? Okay, well, I feel this is a very strong determination from here in the group, let's say, setting, in this campfire setting, that we're all on board with a similar trajectory, a similar agenda, where we want to bring, we have there's a very, very strong desire to bring all our gifts, our talents, our resources, our love, our happiness together under one roof, and then simultaneously become aware of all of our impediments, baggage, uh, limitations that could be, let's say, that could trip us up. It's like when you're packing up and getting ready to head out on a road trip, and you can load up with all the good things, but it's very important to carry a first aid kit with you. It's really, really important to think ahead a little bit and plan ahead a little bit. Like, hey, honey, we're going to do a weekend trip with the kiddies in the minivan. Let's load it up with all the good stuff. But you forget to charge your batteries for your GPS, and you leave your Rand McNally road atlas behind, so you can't figure anything out. It's very, very important, like, to take hold of all the things, our gifts and talents and our weaknesses, and put them all together so that all works as a cohesive whole, where, like, our awareness of what's not healthy and healing is a good thing. Some people like go on these crazy trips to try and bury or forget the torture of their lives. Hey, let's go on a vacation, man, and let's go here and let's do that. Let's rack up $5,000 in credit card debt, and when we come back, we'll be feeling much better. And all they're doing is like pushing and pushing farther and farther away the things that need to be healed. What I'm sensing here is that we need to open up, and allow the feelings to come up. And we're doing that here. We've made a decision that we're doing this together. In other words, it's almost like a mutual support thing. That's what I'm sensing here. So what about the moment? Okay. It's almost like turning it into a mission. That's what I feel here with the Eight of Pentacles. Almost like turning it into part of your day job. It's just like whatever you guys do, whether you're at school, college, university, or have careers and families, or whatever it is, or if you're like very focused and single, or in between, or whatever it is, retired, whatever. What I'm sensing here for us tonight is that I sense the energy of dedication, and the energy of teamwork, and uh, the healing power of love in action. Measurable evidence about, you know, what exactly what exactly did you do today to love yourself more than you did yesterday? Identify that and put that in, make that part of your work operation, so that over an extended period of time, you build up a work practice where the goal is to be loving and to be loved, not just make more money or have more money or have more things or have more stuff. It's very much about, like, if you see love as a resource, your if you see the healing, not see, but if you can conceive of love as a resource, like water coming through a fountain, water coming through a hose, or like currency, like nuggets. Each of these has value. So we don't want to squander this. It's very, very important in the now, in the present, to realize how incredibly lucky and valuable we are just to have this little thing that we do here tonight. It's an incredible, amazing thing. If a few years ago this was not possible, but we are here gathered tonight to be able to do this amazing thing where we can share our assets, share our gifts, and work as a team and make this thing grow. And I think that's a very healthy thing, healthy thing for each of the individuals involved here. So what about the energy of decisions here? What are we going to do with all of that? It's very, very important with the Five of Pentacles to understand uh, what a poor decision means. When you're making poor decisions, this can be the outcome, because a lot of the decisions that we make in life are made in consideration of another or a significant other. Or let's say if you wanted to get a credit card from a bank or something, you have to get into an intimate relationship with the other people. It's like, you know, that expression like, oh, they're in bed together. Well, that's what I'm sensing really here. It's like when you're making decisions about what are we going to do with our joint resources, our joint assets together. Each one of us has gifts and talents and assets. What are you doing with yours? How are you making the best of your love, your capacity to love and be loved? And what are you going to do with that? And so it's very, very important. My feeling is to recognize what does not work. It's so, so important. That's what I was talking about over here. There's no point in just charging forward, always thinking, um, trying to do the fun, nice thing. It's very, very important to be aware of what is not working in your life. And then perhaps like going back in, bringing the love back in and figure out what needs to be healed. Okay. Especially when it comes to relationships. So much of the outcome of our lives in terms of our own experience is often very contingent upon relationships. And for example, people who are married in a very happy, loving marriage, that can be the most important thing in their lives. And people who are in happy, loving marriages are aware of that. And they make their marriage the number one priority, not themselves, not the other. They make the marriage important, the most important thing. They invest in the marriage. And then when things go wrong, it's very, very evident. They become very aware that they just discovered something about themselves or the other that was impoverished and that needed healing. And then you can move on and heal and grow from there. That's one of the most powerful, amazing gifts about human relationships is the mirror effect, the mirroring, where by being willing to be very deeply intimate with another, share your souls and resources. Think about Jupiter and Scorpio right now. It's like literally being stripped down to the bare bones of your soul, revealing what needs to be healed. That's what I'm sensing here. And the best way to do that is in the context of a very nurturing, loving relationship dynamics where you wittingly and deliberately allow what needs to be healed to be revealed. And then you can start to heal it. Okay. So, what people also discover is when they've invested poorly. In other words, have you ever heard of the phenomenon surround yourself with talent, business method of success? Whatever they call it, the surround yourself with talent business method of success. Well, it's very, very true here. If you surround yourself with people who are not loving, where there's no respect of love for them to you or you to them, that's a very toxic, unhealthy environment. And it's probably healthier to move away and move along and reinvest somewhere else somehow, if you can. It's so, so important. I don't want to amplify the negative, but it's so, so important to recognize what is not working because that's what needs to be fixed. You don't have to treat it as a burden. You can think, okay, well, now we need to do maintenance here, honey, sweetheart, dearest loved one. Thank you very, very much. Oh, was it your turn to put out the trash this week? No, it was your turn. I'm sorry, I forgot. Let's work it out. That kind of energy. So how do we make decisions so that it actually works? So you can get this pump. If you think of this as a heart pump, how do we get that pump working to optimal? It's all about feeding the love into it. Be consciously aware that you're investing. How do we do that? You make it a code. You make it a law. You make it the law of your life to be loving and be loved. Be loving, be loved first and foremost. These are the most important things in life. You can't, if you've got like a top of the line Volvo X90 or something and it's $50,000 thing and you love that thing, you can't put that in your coffin and take that with you. It doesn't matter. If you've got all sorts of, I guess you would say, three-dimensional components of your life that are very satisfying, that gives you the sense that you're happy and alive. Great, that works. Material evidence of abundance, that's great. But what I'm feeling here is that it's so important to understand that there is a code, there is a healthy healing code of practice here with the Hierophant, where there is a higher order above and beyond our own order of satisfying our simple primal needs and wants. It's more than that. It's by being very deeply consciously aware of ourselves as individuals that are full of gifts and talents, but also a lot of us have deep healing and deep wounds that need to be addressed and identified as well. Because when you when you identify and heal the wounding, you can have much more capacity to be loving and happy. So it's very important to make it almost like a daily practice, like what needs healing today, and write that down as a code, almost like a law that you do to yourself, so that you are not owned by like whatever tarot illumination is talking about here, be loving, be loved. You actually institute this in yourself as a practice, as a healing practice. I am loving, I am loved. And be very, very much more conscientious about what you're doing when you're making your decisions. Are you squandering the love? Are you just giving your limited resources away? Sure, it's nice to think that we're all made out of universal love, and that's great. But the reality is, we're finite. We have a limited lifetime on this planet, and we have limited amount of resources. Are you just going to give it all away and end up spiritually, emotionally bankrupt? Or are you going to invest and plant and nurture where the love is appreciated, where the love is deserved, and where it can blossom and blow? For example, hanging out with us here tonight for Terra Illumination Love Tribe. I see this as a great investment. I love doing this with you guys. I feel like this is the way that I invest in my own future. And I'm very aware, I learn more and more and more what does not work in my life regarding relationships and decisions. And I am determined personally to make the best of this and make it work. And I'm sick of being out there in the battlefields of life trying to make things work according to earthly protocols. I'm much more interested in being healthy and happy and loving from the inside out, okay? And making that my law, my code. Love myself first. I'm not talking about vanity and egoism here. I'm saying I need to nurture myself. Nurture, nurture, nurture. Love yourself. Love you. Feed yourself with your body, mind, and soul and heart require. And do that. And make that your code, the law. So we do. Let's say we do that. Well, what it means here, my feeling with the Seven of Swords, it means you have to be extremely careful in, let's say, identifying what needs to be healed and how it has to be healed, because like once you've detected something that is, let's say, like corrupted, like a computer that has viruses or something, it's like now you have to be very careful. You have to be extremely diligent, because it's like doing surgery. My feeling is like once you've discovered what is not working and you've figured it out, then you have to go in a very, very stealthy, subtle, very calculating manner to heal what has to be healed, so that you can move on. You can't just rush this process and turn it into like some kind of weird yoga chant. I mean, it's great. That's kind of what I do anyway. But we have to bring that down into reality. And so, what does it actually mean when you have to be loving and be loved in that moment, in now? How are you going to do that in a way where you do not hurt others and you do not let others hurt you? So it means being very, very stealthy, understanding that you have a lot of the way people relate is through words and communications. So what are you saying? How are you saying it? When are you saying it? Who you are saying it to? And where are you saying this? And what is the purpose and mission intent of your words as you go along? Are you being honest and true? Are you truly, truly honoring your integrity here, the way we started? Or are you slipping up? Or are you allowing yourself to be betrayed? It's very, my feeling here consequentially with this energy is it's time that we understand how so easy it is for us to betray ourselves, and literally like slipping on a banana peel. And those banana peels are ours, like walking around, very slippery, precarious conditions. And when things go wrong, it's so easy to blame other people. But the way I like to live and what I'd like to encourage here is that we become very, very aware of how we are experts at our own sabotage. And what needs to be revealed here is how incredibly subtle and very gifted human beings can be at the energy of sabotage, self-sabotage, where you're not respecting and honoring the things that need to be healed. You're either denying them or trying to bury them. And that's not going to help anybody. So please don't be scared of this card here. The consequential feelings I get are that it's all about, it's almost like, aha, I just discovered how I screwed myself up over blah, 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 blah. Back then, whatever, whatever, whatever. So now it means you have to be extremely stealthy and careful moving forward again, uh, so that this heart pump that we have going here works and continues effectively, and we can make the most out of it. So what happens, when you're in this energy of choosing and making decisions here, what happens if we mess up? What happens if you do not respect and honor your resources? What if you just continue to squander resources, the love that you have? What if you mess up? What if you neglect your determination to be loving and be loved, and you do not become aware of how you can be, or we can all become experts at self-sabotage? How does that work for us? Okay, and what happens when you do make good decisions, and when you do understand how it's so easy to get ourselves in trouble one decision at a time? Like, who are we hanging out with? Because a lot of times in our lives, our deepest, most powerful, loving relationships are very much to do with having reflections from others. You know, that's why the energy of relationships is so challenging. And in a classic marriage, for example, if you think of this as us being married, like a group team thing, we become very acutely aware of what is not working. But that's what needs to be healed. You've got to reveal it to heal it, okay? You've got to feel it to heal it. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to cry. They don't want to talk about how deeply hurt they are or how they feel, because it makes them feel wimpy, and they would rather distract themselves, with very, very powerful, effective self-medicating practices rather than deal with this. So let's just say, what if you make a mess of the decisions? Okay, this is what you lose. This is what we all lose. What if you make a good decision and you do decide to love yourself first? Take care of your heart, what your heart, listen very, very, very carefully to what your body is telling you. Become very, very good friends with your body and listen to what it's telling you. And when you act accordingly, and you like delve into the mind where a lot of these challenges occur, where we sabotage ourselves. So what happens when you do make a loving decision, you do decide to invest your love in yourself and into those who appreciate it, where you basically, it's putting your resources where it works instead of squandering where it doesn't work. Then it means it's the same thing as bringing your gifts and talents together by honoring and respecting that we all have lots of obstacles that need revealing and feeling to be healed inside of us. So a lot about the health is removing toxic waste, removing toxic attitudes, self-sabotaging behavior out of our lives. So what if you do that effectively so that you don't mess up with your decisions? We get this, okay? So you can see how extreme this is with the Ace of Cups right here in the energy of what if. When we neglect ourselves, when we neglect to love ourselves, and I'm not talking about just gooey romantic stuff, I'm talking about the love of our deepest soul relationships. It's so, so important to love yourself, respect yourself in those contexts. And instead of undermining yourself in order to get along, people get along to get along. But that's a very subtle form of self-sabotage. Also, a lot of people self-medicate in deeply intimate relationships in order to get along, rather than listening to what is not working and then taking notice, taking action about how to heal it. So when you make a good decision towards your own self-love and your own self-healing, this is exactly what you get. You start to nurture the fountain. The healing power of love begins to flow more and more and more and more into your life. It's like turning on a faucet. very incrementally, step by step. It's probably too dangerous for most of us to just turn everything on maxed out full all the time, because it's like, trying to go swimming in Niagara Falls. Instead, making systematic, routine, daily practices your code, your law, like what needs to be revealed today in order for healing today to happen. When you do that effectively, this is what you get. Incrementally, the faucet gets opened further and further and further, and more love flows into your life. With the aces, it's always the energy of sacred opportunity. So, here, right now, tonight, I feel that we are in an environment of sacred opportunity where incrementally, one tiny step at a time, we open up the flow, the healing power of love. And this is like the healing power of love in action. My feeling here right now tonight is that we are literally healing ourselves by being here with each other, nurturing ourselves. We've dedicated this time. You're here spending time with Terra Illumination. Terra Illumination is here spending time with you. That time is an asset. That time is a very, very valuable resource. Time and our souls and heart energy is probably the most important resource in our lives. And we're spending that right here, right now. Let's have a look at some prospects. Woo! Okay, let's not get too carried away here. It's all my feeling here is that, like, once you get it, you get it. It's just like, oh my God, why didn't anybody tell me about this stuff before? Why isn't, why isn't everybody doing this? Is it just us here? On the screen, it looks like I got about 30 people here. I'm just checking. Well, okay, so maybe it is just a very tiny number of people who understand this stuff, but at least we do. I feel as though I'm like in a tribe with you guys. I feel like I'm in the same campfire with you guys, and I learned so much. I am loving, I am loved. I'm doing everything I can to be loving and be loved. I like to share all the love that I have with you. And I feel it when you come back, because you guys are very, very supportive. But if you're not used to this, it could be almost like a shocking revelation and awakening. Like, oh my God, it's so simple. Why didn't anybody tell me that earlier? I think this energy here with this card is very much to do with the new moon in Aquarius, the big eclipse coming up on February 15th, the middle of the month, somewhere around there, where we're all of us going to get serious jolts about, you know, like it's almost like getting a flashback, like what happened a few weeks ago, when let's say Terra Illumination was talking about this reading, and then all of a sudden, towards the middle and the end of February, this all here starts to make sense for real. Like right now, tonight, we're just hanging out, and this is entertainment. This is tarotainment, you know, and we're doing it around the campfire. But my feeling here with the Knight of Swords is that we're going to start to feel this, what we've talked about here, in a much more significant way, and we're going to feel it and own it in our bodies in a way that's much more self-evident towards the end of the month, when we get into all the big Pisces energy. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And so for the time being, it's kind of exciting. I see this as a long-term energy where you realize, oh my God, you can actually be a communicator. You can actually be a representative. You can actually be an ambassador of love, the healing power of love. And, you don't have to make a badge or anything, but you can do that very discreetly in your life as a daily practice, as a code of law. Today, I'm going to be loving and I'm going to be loved. I love myself first. I nurture myself. I love myself first of all, and then you live it out. You actually live it out as a practice, and it's almost like you can spread the word, okay, to others. Like, oh wow, that's cool, works for me. Well, I'm doing that with you guys. I'm living according to my own code here, and I'm trying to share that with you because it works for me in my own strange way. And I'm just trying to share it with you because I have so much love in my life. I almost don't know what to do with it. Now, you might not know by looking at me or seeing, but inside of my life, inside my world, in my heart, I am truly, truly blessed as a human being to even be alive at all to do this with you now. So I am aware of this, and I have lots of this to share with you. And the big challenge is, who's out there ready, willing, and able to receive it? Okay. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are open to receive. You are ready. You are willing. You are able to receive. You can say it to yourself. You can chant it to yourself. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive. Okay? And then make that a code. Make that like a little chant for yourself. That's what I do. So I kind of got kind of excited about that reading. I didn't know it was going to go on so long. I'm glad we started off with a bang. That's really, really good. And I'm glad we had the Ace of Cups here. I could not have asked for a better card here. So I'm very happy. I really like doing this group reading for you guys. We've only done 2 like this before, but I think it's really cool. Maybe we'll do some more. Okay? So let's leave it at that. I'm going to put the cards away. I'm going to put a little tune on. Hold on. Yeah, stay there. Stay there. I'm kind of.
I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. Angels gather close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected.
Okay, I just wanted to play that to give myself a chance at a breather. Okay, so I wanted to point something out. I'm doing a little bit of homework here, looking ahead to get things sorted out. Because I think of it as weather. My body is hypersensitive to energy. So there you go. A lot of you, if you're healers, you understand that. And it's some ways people think of it as a curse. I know a lot of private readings I've had to do. Some of them are for healers who are struggling with the energy of being a healer, because the way energy healing works, we're operating at super high frequencies, and it can be very hard to stay there and operate there continuously. So, and then you can end up having breakdowns and things, and then you know you're not serving, you're not loving yourself properly. Okay, so. Uh, Here's something that I noticed, people. I wanted to put this out there to mark for your calendars. Now we have the big eclipse coming on the 15th. Okay. We got the big new moon in Aquarius eclipse. Okay. And that's going to rattle all of us. Okay. So enjoy the next few days, but starting February 15th, 16th, and for the next 2 weeks from there, please pay very, very close attention to wherever the Aquarius element lives in your life, wherever it is in your chart. I don't have a lot of doodles prepared tonight because I didn't even think I was going to be going this long tonight. I'm so kind of tired and wiped out. But here's another thing. Towards the end of February, the energy is going to shift a lot. Very, very different energy. We're still going to live in the wake of this new, it's just like a new wave. You know how, life moves in waves, particles, light, sound, all of that is waves. So we're starting a big new wave around the Aquarius new moon eclipse. Hold, let me put that over here. Oh, that's the new moon. Okay, so please mark your calendars, February 15th. Please note, it's going to be an important moment. It's the start of a new cycle, and it's going to shake up that part of your life because it's going to be triggering the South Node. Okay, the collective South Node for everybody, not your personal nodes. It'll access the collective South Node, and it's going to be triggering some part of your life where it's over. It's an ending. There's going to be an ending, and new beginnings are going to start to occur in this part of your life. Wherever that degree happens, I think it's, when is it? It must be in the late degrees, like the high 20 degrees. So we're looking at, I'm guessing it's around 22 degrees. I don't have my charts in front of me right now. 22 degrees Aquarius. When you go home, have a look at your chart where it says roughly 22 degrees Aquarius. And that's where they're going to be new, like, shockings and revelations and beginnings. The next thing I wanted to mention is the energy is going to change a lot. We just had the Leo full moon eclipse. We're going into the Aquarius new moon eclipse. This is going to be no going back, people, going forward. So guess what happens a few days later? Starting on February 18th, we're going into a massive Pisces stellium. It's huge. It's a huge Pisces stellium, okay? So wherever this is going to land in your chart, wherever Pisces lives in your chart, that's where this is all going to pile up. It's a huge, there's going to be a lot of energy there. So you might as well make the most of it, okay? Now, this is going to go on for days, okay? And in fact, up until March 4th, February 18th until March 4th, okay? It's a huge, huge cluster, okay? February 18th to March 4th, just please note that on your calendars. It's like a when you watch the Weather Channel or something. This is like a big weather event. It's very, very important to understand that it's out there in the great beyond. If you think of, like a Weather Channel stuff, well, you can see that. You can see the clouds and the rains and the storms and all the pretty charts on the TV shows. But we're talking about the invisible stuff. You can't see this. It only comes through you as energy, through your being, through your body, through your person. And it's going to light up. And I don't want to get into the details of it. You can get private readings. We can talk about this if you want. So I just wanted to give you these dates, Okay, really important dates coming up very soon for all of us. Okay, I'm just sharing with you. February the 15th, the new moon eclipse Aquarius, and February 18th to March 4th. It's almost 2 weeks. It's almost 2 weeks of super heavy duty Pisces energy. Pisces is still a very gentle sign, but when you have all those planets, there's 5 planets all piled up. Okay, I believe it's 5 planets. So all I'm suggesting is I'm not going to do an astrology report. This is not an astrology channel. We can help each other through the tarot, but I just do this homework for myself to get my own weather report so I don't get messed up with any of this. It's very important to stay on top of the wave, make the best of the energy, okay? So there you go. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to play that song again. Hold on. I need a pee break. I'll be right back. Make friends, have fun. I'll be right back. All right, let's have a look.
I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. Angels gather close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected.
Okay, people. We're going to read for MC now. I've only got a little bit of energy still remaining inside of me. And we've had a lot of reality checks here at Tarot Illumination. You might not have noticed, or maybe you did notice that the prices went up dramatically because I couldn't carry on doing the way things were. And I'm still trying to keep them as low as possible. And I don't want to scare people away, but they're definitely more expensive now. So it makes sense to enter the little raffle. You might not win it, but at least you get a chance. So try that little I button thing. The next thing is if anybody wants to, you can write to tarotlumination.com and do the private reading things. Or if you want to tonight, MC bought one, a little reading tonight for $5. If anybody wants another one, we can put another $5 in. It all helps. But this one's for MC, okay? This is you, MC. I hope you're still there. So I know a lot of you guys who come here are deeply into the tarot, into the astrology, into healing, energy healing. And I also know from doing the readings, I do a lot of readings, that some of us are struggling. Because, you know, at times it's in time for healing the healer, you know? You need love and healing just like anyone else. But if you're naturally compassionate and loving and healing and you just automatically do that, and you neglect your own healing, then you're not going to help anybody, okay? Like sometimes I overdo it a little bit because I love doing this thing, but I'm paying the price now because I'm under the weather and I have a cold. And I wouldn't normally have caught a cold if I had been a little more, let's say, conscientious or a little more gentle with myself. Marilyn, the North Node right now is in Leo. There's some cool people here. So that's the collective North Node. You might be born with a completely different North Node. Okay? Gerardo is here tonight. Gerardo is an astrologer, a professional astrologer, offers services, I believe. I think he's somewhere in the house, aren't you? Somewhere? I'm sure I saw you up there. All right, MC, we're up. This is just a little reading. Yes, I know. Jasmine, I have a little cold. I had to take some of those antihistamines with some ibuprofen. You know, I'm not crippled, but I don't like being sick. And if I get just slightly sick, I'm learning how to pamper myself and stop doing things and try to get better. MC, yes, there is a lot of talent here. For some reason, I don't quite get it, but there are some amazing people that come to this show, that come to this channel. I get to see it on all the comments. It's just amazing what happens out there with you guys. Some of the stories I hear, it's amazing. All right, MC. Same routine. They're just going to do the little mini reading for you, okay? So I'm just going to, just bear with me, MC. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we'll be okay. Remember, MC, this is a public forum, so I just keep it very, very light. If you want to get serious, we can do that. You can go to terralumination.com. Let's have a look. Let's cut, and let's cut again. Ooh, that was a little jumpy. All right. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge, and here's how we're going to handle it. Okay? Make the best of it. Okay? Remember, you've got a lot of support here, MC, so don't stress. We're going to look at circumstantial energy in a moment, and like all the smart people in the room, you're going to make the best of the energy. Okay? You're not going to let the energy own you. Just because it's gorgeous energy doesn't mean you have to be happy. If you're feeling miserable, let it be known. You have to admit these things to yourself. If you're in really good space, make the best of it. So right now, if you're experiencing something like this, Five of Pentacles, maybe a sense of impoverishment, where you might feel, if the weather is making you feel, I'm not saying you are hard up, but if it makes you feel, if your circumstances around you, and if you're, you know, circumstantial energy is out there. It's not you, okay? But often circumstantial energy can represent a reflection of you, because you're choosing every day, you know, to be who you are and where you are. And sometimes we change and evolve and grow out of places, relationships, people, jobs, attitudes, and belief systems because they don't work anymore. They become obsolete, and then they become redundant. And you suddenly realize, or maybe slowly realize, you've outgrown a situation, a relationship, a person, or a place, and the abundance that might have been there, it has diminished or gone. So it can make you feel like hopeless and left out and rejected, especially if it concerns a relationship, because for a lot of people, one of the most satisfying and rewarding things in life is having a very loving, deeply loving relationship with someone who's on your frequency with you. There's nothing else like it on the planet. There's no substitute. There's no amount of self-medication, no amount of diamond rings and cars and jobs that can substitute for what the heart knows as love, pure love. And if you've ever had a taste of it and then you've lost it, then you really would understand this energy. So it's very, very important to understand with the circumstantial energy how we can very unwittingly get ourselves in a situation through our decisions where we realize, oh my gosh, maybe long ago you made what you thought was a really healthy, loving decision, and you realize, oh my gosh, it didn't work out that way. And now you end up impoverished in some manner. Now remember, it's out there. Maybe you shared your life or your resources or your energy with someone or something that didn't really deserve you. Okay? And it's not the end of the world. It just means that now it's time to understand what really, really counts in the long term when you're making really important decisions about relationships in life. Who are you hanging out with? Who are your friends? There's I don't know, it's a buzz phrase or something, catchphrase like, you're oh, what's the word? It's like it's something I'm trying to explain something that has a popular cliche, but I can't remember what it is. But it's like, you know how alcoholics hang out with alcoholics. You know how smokers hang out with smokers. You know how successful people hang out with successful people. You know how very loving, caring, compassionate people hang out with loving, caring, compassionate people, like what we do here at Terra Lumination, and so on and so on. It's a decision. So if you're surrounded and hanging in circumstances of impoverishment, have a good look around you. Is it a result of your decisions, or are you being unconscious? Are you just swimming in that uh, energy unconsciously, unwittingly, and discovering the impoverishment? So what do we do about it? It doesn't mean you have to be impoverished. This is circumstantial energy. Like if you've squandered your love resources on friends, family, job situations, and people where it's not reciprocal, then you are creating your own impoverishment, okay? One decision at a time, even though you might be think you're doing the right thing. So what's the situation? Okay, to me it feels like there's a lot at stake here with the 10 of cups. This is like having it all. The thing of, so right now, because these are very, very polarized energies here, it might be something to do with the eclipse that we've just come out of, where you're coming to an awareness, a stark realization by looking around yourself in your life, in your world, that this energy of like like the energy like of a loving, happy home where you're with the right person and they love you and you love them and everyone around you in like an old-fashioned sense, like if you're married with kids and there's your little rainbow of happiness, there's your little home there and everything's just wonderful. It can also indicate that this is exactly what you don't have and what you're missing and where you might be feeling impoverished. So I'm trying to meld your circumstantial energies with your situation. And if the situation is all about a loving home, a happy families, loving relationships where it's nurture and be nurtured. Are you nurtured by your significant others? Are you nurturing your significant others in order to invest and build a foundation of happiness where there is evidence of love, evidence of happiness? where it shows. And if this is the energy in the situation here, it might be that this is exactly what is at stake here. Maybe you're in a situation where you're realizing you could lose all of this. Okay. And this is a wonderful thing to have, but is this in jeopardy right now? Is everything here? Or are you coming into this? Are you coming out of a situation of lack and poverty and considering ways to how to come into love and happiness and share that with a significant other or in a group environment where it's all shared? Either way, there's a lot at stake here. Your own happiness in your life in a shared environment. Okay. So what's the challenge? It's all too much. With the Ten of Swords here, it makes me feel like it's almost like the challenge is wondering whether this will ever happen. Where am I ever going to find true love? Am I ever going to find true happiness, a happy home, a happy family? And is it ever going to happen? Am I going to keep investing all my time and energy and passion and resources um, to get to nowhere in particular? Am I squandering it all? Am I wasting all my energy? Am I carrying everyone else's burden for them? Am I making it my burden? Have you ever seen that T-shirt? I think it's really cool. And I was a foster father to a young lad a few years ago, and I like to think I made a difference in his life for the good. And you know, in the family environment, we were discussing this energy of discussing the whole idea of what are you doing with your energy, and how a lot of people are forced into like so-called compassionate behavior. But if you're going into that with resentment and it's not healthy, it's so important to love yourself first, rather than do like what I would say compulsive compassion or being a compassion junkie. That's not healthy. And so he got this little T-shirt made, and it said something like, "Oh, hello. Yeah, sure. What's your problem? Sure. Excuse me, let me put down all my stuff so that I can carry all your crap for you." Okay, sorry, I said a bad word. It might come out in the channel. The video might be blocked. I'm sorry about that. But MC, what I'm seeing here is the challenge is that you might have loaded yourself up with everyone else's problems, and you've got very little resources left for loving yourself. Also, you might be wondering whether you'll ever have enough energy to ever have this. Has it already been squandered? Let's have a look. How are we going to deal with this? Everything's kind of maxed out here. Okay? Maximum happiness and joy potential. That's what's at stake. That's the situation. The challenge is, are you ever going to get there? Is it anything that you deserve? You might feel it's like something you've worked for and that you deserve, but you might have gone at it from a different perspective, thinking like you have to go out there and get it and then bring it back to you. Whereas with the laws of attraction, it's much more about loving yourself first and becoming like a love pump, like a pumping thing that absorbs love and then radiates love. Be loving and be loved, like you're setting up a pump. And it's very common for people to think that happiness is out there, or in that person, or in that relationship, or that thing. And then you have to go out there and get it. And sometimes it doesn't work that way. It's much more important, healthier to love oneself first and then allow the laws of attraction to come into play so that you can attract this thing that you love and want rather than having to go and get it. So how are we going to deal with this very challenging situation here? Okay, well, with the Six of Pentacles, my feeling, MC, is to, it's like deal with the energy of gratitude. As you give, so shall you receive. My feeling here, I don't know, this is a kind of a public place, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But my first impression here, MC, is that without knowing it, without realizing it, you might have been very, compassionate or caring or loving in some way, but it all got squandered. In other words, if you're constantly giving, but you're not nurturing yourself, then you are literally creating a burden, which gets in the way of this ever happening. So my feeling here with the way to handle this is understand that you might, even in your own best intentions, you might have just been consistently giving, being kind and being generous, and not giving yourself a chance to receive. Okay. And maybe now it's time to understand the laws of attraction and allow the laws of attraction to work for you. Uh, Doing that little invocation. We're using it a lot tonight. I don't know why, but we are. But it's okay for you to receive. It's okay. You can say that. Turn it into a little mantra. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive. And then when it arrives, you accept it and you allow it. Okay, that's when things get really, really tricky. And that's another tarot reading altogether. But right now, with the Six of Pentacles here, my feeling is that it's really important for you, MC, to start putting yourself first and owning your own happiness from the inside out, instead of impoverishing yourself by thinking it's out there and that you have to get it with a significant other or from a significant other or a significant job, place, or thing, but own it from the inside. Allow the energy to come into you. It's not tangible in the way like, having the best shoes or the best car. It's the healing power of love is like a flow. It's like a current of energy. It's like it's like a shower, and it comes into you, and you can collect that energy like in a like a bucket, and you can own that, and it can fill your body, mind, and soul. you know this is another little thing I do every day. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body. You know what, let's do that later. MC, I want to leave this for now. I hope you get something out of it. I hope it didn't upset you or hurt your feelings or anything. I'm just doing the best I can for you. All right. Let's leave it at that. See, Fritterly, thank you very much. Yeah. See, the thing is, MC, that you're very brave to be here in the first place, because with a little tiny tarot reading like that, it can be, if you wanted to, you could be really embarrassed about what I just said, the things that came out of my mouth. You could have taken it very personally and said things like, God, TL, you have no right talking about that kind of stuff, about my personal life and all those things. But the good thing about sharing this stuff in the open, and you can realize how it can be a storyline that can fit other people's lives as well. So you can see how you might have been your own uh, expert at self-sabotage by compulsively giving away all your gifts and talents, and now it is time for you to receive. Okay, I know I go on about that stuff all the time, but to me it's very important because it's so easy. It's very easy to spot how people are hurting themselves. I'm going to play a little tune now. Giggle wants to know who's next. I don't know if I've got many readings inside of me left. Hold on. I'm going to put on Through the Ether because I need comfort, and I am going to comfort myself here. Um, oh gosh, hold on. I got something wrong here. Oh, Giggles. You know what? I'm not even going to bother to figure out. I'm just going to put your name here. Giggle is screaming very loud. Yeah, Jenny, that was a very heavy reading for a tiny little thing, but that's what happens inside here at Terra Illumination. That's why I don't do multiple decks, multiple cards. I try to squish it down. I like to distill my cards and the spreads down to very, very high concentrated, like like a concentrated ointment or lotion or a pill. And I used to get, have more decks and things to and do lots of qualifiers, but it can get very confusing at times and you lose the momentum. So I keep things very simple and concentrated. No, MC, I wouldn't have drained anybody. I think it's very good that we had that reading and brought those issues to light. Giggle, you're just going to get one because you're going to get one. Yeah, well, Jenny D, I used to be a professional channel, so there you go. But I don't like the job. I don't like it. It's kind of creepy because you don't need astrology, you don't need the tarot, you don't need anything. You just channel, or you can do the work of a medium. And okay, I don't know. I just like doing tarot illumination because I get to hang out with you guys and I get to play with some cards and have fun. And it isn't all about just trying to answer somebody's questions about their loved ones who are gone. I mean, we can do that, but we can also do it through tarot. Working as a professional medium, you really have to actually want to do it. All right, I'm going to shuffle for a little bit here, Giggle. Then we're going to do your little mini reading, micro mini reading. If anybody feels really generous, I'm not saying you're going to get a reading, but every little bit counts. If anybody wants to throw something in the super chat pot, help yourselves. You can build a relationship, as they say in business. If anybody needs a private reading, just go to terraillumination.com and figure it out. Okay. I'll do all the promotion stuff at the end. We're gonna do a little tiny personal reading for Giggle. Thanks, Jenny. I see that. All right. So, by the way, before we get on with this, I want to apologize. I'm very, let's say, weak, fragile, below my normal self right now. And I'm very conveniently blaming it all on the eclipses. Thank you very much. Because I can. I can do that if I want to. Thank you very much. It gives me an excuse. The thing is, before I was even working as I used to work as a consultant for, in the movie business, not in the television business, for psychic mediums and TV shows. And it was great for a while until the producers get very corrupted and things very, very sick, very, 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 very ugly, weird, sick things start to happen. And I'm not into that. Energy is what it is out there. I like being with you guys. I like doing this stuff. I don't need to hang around with spiritual gangsters, spiritual vandals, and thieves and criminals and toxic, poisonous energies. I don't want it. I don't need it. I'm very lucky because I have an amazing team of guardian angels. There's like a team of very major support angels, and I have a team of interns, 7 interns, and I have like a bunch of dog warriors, fearsomely protective guardian angels, and they're always around. I'm very, very lucky. I know it sounds crazy, you know, a guy talking about angels and things, but that's just how it is over here, and I'm just trying to share that with you. All right, Giggle, you're up. Cards are well shuffled, no jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals, none of it. Cards were made as beautiful little works of art in the first place, and I don't want to mess with that. All right, here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's cut it up and then let's dig in. All righty, what have we got? What's going on here? All right. Okay, here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it, okay? Now we're going to look at circumstantial energy. You know, already know this routine, Giggle, so we're going to just jump right in, okay? Funny. Funny, 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 funny. So, Giggle, I don't know if you're kind of in a vortex right now where there's an awful lot of, well, maybe not important decisions, but maybe you're facing something really, really important right now. Maybe like, what are you going to do in a very important relationship dynamic? If you think of this as circumstantial energy, it can also, for me, I'm feeling this is going to be something to do with that big cluster of Pisces energy coming up soon, where there's a huge amount of love. With all that Pisces energy pounding on there, it's very much about the energy of love and healing. And where is that happening in your life? And it requires making very important decisions about whether are you ready, willing, and able to receive that love. Are you worthy, deserving, and open to receive that love? You have to be able to receive that uh, after you make the invocations. A lot of people think just it's just going to happen, but you have to literally allow it in, and then whatever happens, and surrender to the process. And that could be a very important decision. You might be in a situation right now where your circumstances are calling out to you, Giggle, to make some very, very important decisions about what you're doing with your love. Where are you sharing that love? Who is sharing their love with you? And like, what is the context here? What is the mission and the purpose? Because it's, in some ways, it's kind of blessed energy here, but it's also the energy of like, well, you have to understand with the energy of decisions, it's a very important part of tarot illumination. I think of it as the healing power of decisions, because when we live in the present moment, we activate our evolution through our decisions. You can make a decision to surrender and allow the healing power of love to flow into and through your life. You can make a decision that I know what's good for me and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's almost like putting up a roadblock to the healing power of love, even though you think you're doing the right thing. So with the energy of decisions being very important right now, circumstantially, what is it out there, Giggle, that is so important in your life right now that requires an important decision? And decisions are kind of like a computer. It's always a 0 and a 1. There's nothing else. Everything resolves down to yes or no, in, out, black, white, on, off. Anything in between, like a maybe, is basically the energy of deciding to decide not to decide for now, because you don't have the courage or enough information to decide. But we're talking about right now, what are you going to do with your love energy? And it's an important decision, because with the energy of decisions, if you go this way, then this becomes neutralized. If you go over this way, then this becomes neutralized. And that's one of the things that happens in life, is when we face a really, really important decision, it's almost like somebody or something shows up that presents an alternative, which brings the situation into stark focus. Like, say you've really got the hots for somebody and they've got the hots for you and think you're going to get really hooked up and you need to make a decision soon to do this or not. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, someone else shows up and you now have a triangle. And that triangle, it feels very weird, but it brings things into very sharp focus. Like, oh my gosh, am I actually with the right person or not? Because when you're presented with two viable alternatives that have equal match and appeal, that amplifies the the phenomenon of the decision making process much more. It puts you really, really on the spot, Giggle, about having to pay very close attention to your decisions right now because there will be consequences. What's the situation? Okay, wow. Wealth and abundance and happiness, having a happy home, and having all the evidence of love, the evidence of love in terms of a legacy. You could almost, I don't want to turn this into a love and relationship reading. I mean, you can do that if you want. I'm trying to keep it very, very loose, okay, Google? So my feeling here is that circumstantially there's a lot at stake here. And what's at stake is basically having it all. The whole idea of like having a legacy. Uh, a lot of people want to live a life thinking and feeling like they've left something behind for humanity or for their good, or they've made children, or they've made grandchildren, and that they have something to offer them. To a lot of people, that's life. Being born, growing up, maturing, and building something of great value like a family, a home, and especially a legacy that endures, where everybody can sit around at the barbecue table together and enjoy the abundance of that thing that doesn't just come from an individual. It comes from uh, like a long-term investment program of continuously being loving and then being loved in return. So you're like continually investing in yourself, in your world, in your environment. But this is the situation, and it feels like there's a lot at stake here. Like, are you going to walk into this? Are you walking away from this? Are you making decisions to be with someone where this is possible? Or are you making decisions to be with someone else where this is possible? Are you in a position where are you having to make decisions where you could lose all of this with another person or a situation, a home, and a family, or lose this with someone else's? In other words, there's a lot at stake, and it's very tangible, and could even concern things like money and home and property and all of that stuff. Let's have a look. So what's the challenge? Oh my gosh. Jeepers, man, this is a big reading, Giggle. You don't have to tell us what's going on. Let's just keep it loose. And, you know, whew. Okay, with the Ace of Cups here, to me, it amplifies things even more, that there's even more at stake than I originally imagined here. Because let's say you make a decision and this has the chance to continue or grow. Okay. And so what's the challenge? Like, if you screw up on your decisions, then you could lose all of this. If you make a good decision, then you could gain all of this. But that's the fear. The challenge is typically a lot to do with the fear of what's inside us. And so it feels to me like you're really, let's say, you're kind of at a crossroads here, which, like, where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? What happens if I go this way? Am I going to lose all the love, all of this? What happens if I go that way? Am I going to lose all of this? What happens if I go this way? Am I going to gain all of this? What happens if I go that way? Am I going to gain all of this? This is very much emblematic of the healing power of love in action. Okay, literally the energy of heaven, like a flow, like a fountain, and how it can happen. And this is a sacred card of opportunity. This card would not be here, Giggle, unless you deserved it. The thing is, it's a lot to have that's at stake. You deserve this as much as anybody, as much as all of us. Okay? The question is, how are we going to get that? How are we going to handle that? Because it's if it's in jeopardy, if it's a possibility that it could be lost, that would be a huge loss. Of course, if that's what you can gain by making, decisions to be with someone who's very loving, for example, then that's awesome. But it's still in question here. It's very, very, very much up in the air in question. So how are we going to deal with this? My gosh. Okay. There's a lot at stake here. I think it's very much to do with home and family, resources, finances, home, children, everything, like in a massive, big basket of, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's happening here? You know, my feeling here with the Ten of Cups is, how do we do this? It's like act as if. It's almost like creating or invoking the laws of attraction to work in your life, um, because you have to. So that's how you deal with it. In other words, if you're in a situation where there's huge decisions at stake, perhaps there's a divorce at stake here. In other words, if something is breaking up and falling apart, and this is in jeopardy, and this could be lost, it's maybe time to think about, I guess, the love inside of all of this, as opposed to how it looks from the outside. So it's almost like with the Ten of Cups here, it makes me feel like it's like you have to live as if, like, own it anyway, like own your own wealth, own your own abundance, your sense of love and happiness from the inside out, rather than expecting it from the outside in. So, and there's so many scenarios where this could play out, where if it's like saying hello to abundance and love, then the problem is whether you feel that you're worthy or ready or capable to receive that. Then it's very important for this to happen that you actually believe in it. You actually truly have to believe that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you're open, that you are ready, willing, and able to receive that. And when it comes, you accept that. I I've been in, I'm just going to put my own 2 cents in here, because I've been in situations where I had massive abundance available to me in extremely important, profound relationship contracts. And I messed up. I messed up decisions, huge, huge. I did not love myself first. All of this was squandered. And I lost all of this, and I lost all of that, because I was too naive and immature to realize the bigger picture. So my feeling is that the way to handle this situation, if it all just comes down to a big decision or several big decisions, or if someone else's energy is making a big decision, for example, if you're just fine the way you are, but someone else is not happy with the relationship and they don't want this anymore, then all of this comes into jeopardy. And so if you've invested everything in this and you fear losing all of this, yes, it could make you feel as though your life is going to be miserable. But if you can look at it like, where the circumstantial energy doesn't have to affect you, and you can basically be happy from the inside, and like if you're at the mercy of someone else's decision here, then it's going to sound really counterintuitive. In some way, please treat it as a blessing. Somehow, like you needed to live this or go through this and understand this to understand how fortunate you are, or how fortunate you can be, and how much it is possible to actually be loving and happy from the inside out, so that it can be shared externally. It's impossible to have all of this without having invoked this first, okay? And then you radiate this outwards, and then this attracts this, okay? Love you first. Even though you might be at the mercy of someone else's decision. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much more about it here on the live show. Looks like a very important reading, Giggle. If you need to, you know, tarotlumination.com. We'll sort it out. But for now, make the decision uh, to be happy from the inside out. Like, I am a very lucky Giggle. I am a very wealthy Giggle. I am a very happy Giggle. I am a very blessed Giggle. And you turn that into NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and it actually starts to work after a while. You start to believe your own mantras, like, wow, that's woo. So when it does arrive, you accept it. And that's the tricky part. Let's leave it up in the air right now, because the decisions can't be made right now. The decisions are in play, okay? I'm not saying go this way or that way, them or the other, or in or out, or whether someone else is doing that to you. It's in play right now, and there's a lot at stake. There's a huge amount at stake here, Giggle, okay? So I hope, let's just leave it like that. I want to keep it light. I don't want to scare you. And we'll call it quits. And then it might make sense to, you know, in a few days after you slept on it, and then maybe, like, if this sounded like nonsense to you, Giggle, then maybe it'll sink in another way, shape, or form. I was just trying to read it as broad energy rather than particular people or love life things or marriages and divorces and lovers and ex-lovers and things like that. Okay, so Giggle, there you go. I hope you got something out of it. Let's see what happens now. Okay, I'm just going to tell you people, I'm really pooped out. I'm really pooped out. I don't think I've got another reading left in me. And I'm going to be going to bed early tonight. I know some of you are all up much later than I am. So I'd love to do more, but I'm really pooped out. My throat is sore and tired, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. And you guys can start planning your after party. I know you guys do that. Hey, Jasmine, mini. We'll have to do this another time, okay? Sinsin, okay. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to call it quits on readings tonight. I'm just going to hang out with you guys for a little bit now. I'm going to play another little tune, and then we can just hang out for a bit, okay? Here we go. Through the ether. Laying up and around in our mountains, in our seas, in our forests, with all of our stones, exploring one another, pushing our boundaries like new lovers. And you comfort me through the and you tell me, that you're worried about me, and you assure me through the earth that we're okay, everything's gonna be okay. And you're holding my hand all the way. Our innocence is becoming so apparent, our magnificence at the same time too. With your permission and our shared ambition, we get the chance to discover our truth. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me
I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding
Good night, EJ.
holding my hand all the way. That you're holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way.
Let's see. Hold on.
Through the ether. Laying up and around in our mountains, in our seas, in our forests, with all of our stones, exploring one another, pushing our boundaries like new lovers. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything's gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand all the way. Our innocence is becoming so
Good night, Happy Go.
and our magnificence at the same time too. With your permission and our shared ambition, we get the chance to discover our truth. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand all the way. That you're holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way. Okay. If you wish for a simple miracle, if you wish, you can have one right away. All you need is some faith, is the will. Ask for it, and it will come to you today. I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self. Yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Yeah. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da, da 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 da. And if you wish to be in a state of grace, ask for it, and it will meet you face to face. And if you wish, if you dare to dream, you will find that it's easier than it seems. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. Yeah,
I want you to be your higher self. Yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Oh. La da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Oh, la da 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 da, da 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 da. Oh, oh, yeah. I want you to be so happy. Yeah, I want you to be your higher self. Yeah, yeah. I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Taste your dreams this way. Taste your dreams today. Hold on. I want to put this one up because I'm struggling right now. You'll see why in a moment. Thanks everybody for showing up. Had a lovely night. Glad I could do this with you, for you. Let's keep it on. Let's just keep the bus going. Okay. Everybody jump around. Everybody stand up. It's musical chairs time. It's time to grab the partner next to you and just jump. Jump, 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 and jump. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. To yourself. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. Mean it. Mean it. Mean it. Mean it. Mean it. Mean it. Mean it and mean it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Know it. Know it. Know it. Know it. Sing it to yourself. 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 Give it to yourself. Hypnotize yourself. For the diehards. We have to understand how our words are so powerful. We live by our words, we die by our words.
Sing the word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, feel the word, love the word, live the word, fight the word. Shake the word, hug the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sign the word. Sing it out, take my word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, heal the word, live the word, light the word, shake the word, hug the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it out, speak the word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, heal the word, love the word, live the word, light the word, share the word, love the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it out.
Thanks, Jenny. Thank you very much, Jenny. We'll catch up soon.
Share the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, heal the word, love the word, live the word, light the word, show the word, love the word, bring the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it
So there you go, folks. It's been a pleasure, as always, doing this for you, doing this with you. Okay? We just did to Illumination Sunday Night Live. February the 4th, 2018, 7 p.m. we started. And now we're done. We're leaving early tonight because I know a lot of us have been wigged out and stressed. I know I am. And I've still got a bit of a cold, as you can probably hear, like with my nose and my voice and everything, a bit sinusy and all of that. So thank you all for showing up. I wish I could do a lot more readings for you guys, but I've come under a lot of reality checks recently with the channel. I only have certain capacities, and for things to work over the long term, I had to make some really, really, really tough decisions inside, and then now I have to live with the consequence of these decisions. And these are decisions that I didn't want to make, but I had to do them in order to keep the channel balanced and whole. So we'll do this again, okay? We'll do this another time. I want you to have a super week ahead. Make the best of it, and however that works for you guys. So yeah, if you need to go back there, the key important dates I wanted to bring out were the new moon eclipse and the massive Pisces stellium coming up towards the end of the month. Okay, it's huge. It's important for everybody. Thank you all. I love doing this for you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.